Have you ever wondered why one person can face impossible odds with confidence while everyone else is paralyzed by fear? For 40 days, an entire army stood before one giant. They had the weapons, they had the training, they had the numbers, yet not one man stepped forward. Then a young shepherd arrived with no armor, no sword, and no military experience. And before the day was over, the giant was dead. What did David know that everyone else missed? The answer isn't just the key to this story. It may be the key to facing the giants in your own life. For 40 days, morning after morning and evening after evening, one voice echoed across the Valley of Elah. Goliath, the mighty champion of the Philistines, stepped forward wearing heavy bronze armor, carrying a massive spear, and challenging Israel to send just one man to fight him. His words were filled with mockery and intimidation. Every time he spoke, fear spread through the Israelite camp. King Saul and his soldiers had every reason, from a human perspective, to be afraid. Goliath was a seasoned warrior. They looked at his size, his strength, and his experience, and they reached one conclusion: this battle cannot be won. Then something unexpected happened. A young shepherd named David arrived, not to fight, but simply to bring food to his brothers. He wasn't searching for glory, he wasn't looking for a battle, he was faithfully carrying out a simple task his father had given him. But as David heard Goliath's challenge, he noticed something that everyone else had forgotten. While the army was measuring the size of the giant, David was remembering the greatness of God. Fear had caused the army to see only the problem. Faith allowed David to see the one who was greater than the problem. David asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" Those words revealed something remarkable. David wasn't comparing himself to Goliath, he was comparing Goliath to God. That one perspective changed everything. Even King Saul doubted him. "You are only a young man, and Goliath has been a warrior since his youth." Human logic said David didn't stand a chance. But David wasn't trusting in human logic. He remembered something no one else knew. As a shepherd, he had already faced a lion. He had already faced a bear. When those wild animals attacked his father's sheep, God had given him the strength and courage to rescue them. Those hidden battles became the preparation for a public victory. Most people celebrate David defeating Goliath, but they often overlook the years of quiet faithfulness that came first. God was preparing David long before anyone noticed him. And isn't that how God often works in our own lives? We want God to move us straight to the victory, but He first develops our character in seasons that no one applauds. The struggles you face today may not be obstacles, they may be God's preparation for something far greater tomorrow. David refused Saul's armor because he knew victory would never come from pretending to be someone else. Instead, he picked up 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream, placed them into his shepherd's bag, took his sling, and walked toward the giant. Imagine that moment. One young shepherd walking toward the most feared warrior in the land. The soldiers watched. The Philistines laughed. Goliath mocked him. But David's confidence never changed. He declared, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." Those words remind us that David's greatest weapon was never the sling. It was his faith. Then David ran toward Goliath. He placed a stone into his sling, swung it with confidence, and released it. The stone struck Goliath directly on the forehead. The giant fell face down to the ground. In a single moment, 40 days of fear came to an end. But the greatest miracle wasn't that a giant fell.
The greatest miracle was that one person believed God when everyone else believed their fear. Maybe today you're standing in front of a giant of your own. It may be fear, anxiety, a broken relationship, financial pressure, a doctor's report, or a dream that seems impossible. Like Israel, it's easy to spend every day staring at the giant until fear becomes louder than faith. But David's story reminds us that your victory is never determined by the size of the obstacle. It is determined by the greatness of the God who goes before you. The same God who strengthened David is still faithful today. Whatever giant stands before you, don't measure it against your own strength. Measure it against God's power. Because the battle has never belonged to the giant. It has always belonged to the Lord. If this message encouraged you, I think you'll also enjoy our video, Waiting on God? Trust God's timing. God is working behind the scenes, where we explore how God prepares us during seasons of waiting, often before our greatest victories.